How long have you worked with Remedy?
For me personally, less than a year, so I haven't been at Remedy for all that long, but obviously being in Finland, I remember very well the day in 1995 when Remedy was started. I knew, like, we were all really young back then, and I knew a lot of the people back then. I was like, wow, okay, like, they're gonna start making games, and there used to be these computer hackers, like, part of the demo scene culture. So I've over the years, I've known people from Remedy for very well. I have a lot of friends there, so even though I haven't been there for very long, it kind of seems that I've kind of been there long in the end, and I do know the history and the products of the company very well, and hopefully I'll get to be there a long time.
So are you originally from Finland or Sweden?
Oh, I'm originally from Finland, but my parents are actually from Hungary.
Okay.
So they moved to Finland, but I was born in Finland.
What's your favorite thing about Finland?
Favorite thing about Finland is everything works. I've been lucky enough to travel around the world, and it's like in Finland, it's still public transportation works. You don't need a car, you can actually get around, and like you actually get something for your taxpayer money. You know, schools are free. You can get a college education free and all these things. I never took advantage of that, but it's always nice to come back. It's a small, I mean, you know, Helsinki is small. It's like 500,000 people. Like if you count in the greater area of Helsinki, it's about 1 million. But Finland as a whole is 5.4 million, so it's small. But I think New Zealand is 4 million people, I think. So some in those ways we can kind of relate. What I don't like about Finland is the winter and the darkness. Oh my God, I've had enough of that. So I remember this well. So November last year, 2014, for the whole of November we have 90 minutes of sunlight. So even though the sun comes up, it's always cloudy. Like it's super like overcast and cloudy in Finland, so it's completely gray. So literally from, let's say, September to like late March, it's about sun goes up about 8:30 and goes down around 3:30 to 4. So you go to work, it's dark, and I mean it's pitch black. And then you come home, it's pitch black dark. And that's, I mean, we're used to it. But a lot of the foreign people who come to work at the studio at Remedy, that's actually is the hardest thing. It's not the cold. I mean, you can just dress up. And it's not even that cold in Helsinki at the end of the day. But it's the darkness that's difficult to deal with.
Do you have any sunbeds at the studio?
Sunbeds at the studio? No, we do have a very nice grill though, and we have a nice barbecue and a bar. So some of our folks actually do go up there in the winter just to grill their foods. Finns are big on that. No sunbeds, no.
Can you explain Quantum Break in 3 words?
Time travel story.
Great, that's really good. What was the main inspiration for the storyline?
For the story, so Sam Lake, who's our creative director and has been the writer pretty much in the beginning of Remedy, had this idea about sort of quantum physics and quantum theory and all that, and then that turned into time travel story, and really about, can you change time? Like if you go back, can you actually change, or is time a closed loop? And that's sort of actually in the game the big sort of, so Jack, the hero, believes he can change things, but then Paul Serene believes that fate can only play out one way. So that's sort of the two warring themes of the game. A lot of the inspiration really then came from popular culture. Remedy always looks at like time travel movies and all these things, but really it's about the characters and what kind of story do we tell through the characters and all that. In many ways, it's all it's Sam's and our writing team's head, and you know they have boundless imagination and lots of ideas on what to write about and all that. So Quantum was just like one of the ideas they had.
Are there any games that influenced this game?
Well, I mean our own games in many ways, because not to say that in kind of like an asshole kind of way. What I mean is that you always learn from them. So, you know, in like Alan Wake, it was much more story-driven than, I mean, Max Payne's were story-driven as well, but the mechanics of the combat, you know, with the bullet time and everything were very, very good. In Alan Wake, we had less variety. So then in Quantum Break, it's like, okay, like, let's make sure we have variety, but let's also make sure it's not your quote-unquote standard third-person shooter, so you don't have to stay in cover. You're actually really supposed to move, and all the time powers are designed in a way that they sort of empower you to move around. But of course, you look at other games that you like and what they do well. I mean, we play lots of games at the studio, and pretty much everybody's a gamer at the end of the day. And while Until Dawn from Supermassive and Sony came at very late stages of Quantum Break, but that was something where we look at, okay, they really do sort of branching story really well, because like, okay, you have 8 characters, and actually you can actually kill all of them off, and the story can go in crazy ways. And ours is not like that. Ours is sort of, you get to shape the story, but it's not like a choose your own adventure. But it's like, you know, on an individual level, when designers and artists and musicians and all that in the studio, they play lots of games, and of course there's always a little bit of influence that comes in.
You were talking about the leading actor being changed through the middle of the game. What was that about?
So originally, when we showed the game and announced Quantum Break, the lead actor, Jack Joyce, was being played by Sean Dury. Sean's an awesome guy, and there was nothing wrong about his performance, but we actually had never really locked him down. It was more like let's get him on board and try to start making the game and see how we can build our tech pipeline and all that. And then it was like, okay, well, we can actually get like a bigger production budget and like the scope of the game change. And it was like, well, what would you do if you could maybe get some of these other actors? Like, can we get this guy, that guy? And then like, yeah, you can. Like, oh, shit, really? So that happened. I know it's not quite as simple as that. Obviously, there's discussion between Microsoft and us and a lot of different stakeholders, and really then it is about the performance. That's an important thing. It's not really about, obviously it helps that we have big names because that does help with the attention the game gets and maybe even selling it, but it really is about their performance, because we can really make our digital versions of our actors so good and bring all the nuance of their acting through into the game. So that's important. So you don't have to sort of have exclamation marks with everything you do in the game. You're feeling really bad now. It's like you can actually just look at the face and the actor's portrayal and get it. Like, that's important. We had a lot of luck, like getting like Aidan Gillen and Lance Reddick. I mean, they were both in The Wire, which is like one of my all-time favorite TV shows, so it's awesome to get them. And like with Sean Ashmore, it's been like Sean's a big gamer and just like the nicest guy, just like really, really good guy and really invested in the game. Like he really cares about the game and the story, and a lot of good ideas that they really talked about Sam, about his character and all that. So it really comes down to like availability and of course money as well, and then you have to work that stuff out, and we got quite lucky. What makes us different? Well, first of all, it's a unique title. It's an original game. It's not a sequel. It's a brand new universe. It has a story that you can shape, and then you can actually experience what the villains are up to. You can see that happening in the live action, which is pretty unique. And for a story-driven single-player game, it has a lot of replay value because you can impact the story. So you and I can have quite a different experience. Like, okay, so Amy died, she got shot in the head. I'm like, wait, what? Like, Amy died? Like, Amy's with me in the game, like doing stuff for me. Like, what are you talking about? So you have a lot of replay value, which I think is quite unique, definitely in a single-player game. So it's difficult to make a new game. You have to think about the universe of it, create everything. You have to create the rules of it. How does everything work in the game? And all that takes a long time. So hopefully people give it a chance and see it. You know, that's something unique. Like, you have the time powers, and that makes the mechanics of the combat quite different, more faster paced. So people look at, oh, it's just like you stay behind cover. No. The enemy will come get you if you do that. You're like supposed to run around and attack them and use the shield and confuse them, all that. So I would like to think it's quite unique in those aspects.
How long did Quantum Break take to make?
It's a difficult question to answer. I mean, you can say that the idea already was somewhere way back in Sam's head. When we were making Alan Wake in like 2008 or something, there was already an inkling of an idea, but when we really started to get to it in like 2011, you'd kind of say that in 2011 we really started making the game. So for some of our people at Remedy, it's been 5 years, but it's not like, you know, we spend a year, 18 months just figuring out the story, the characters, the universe, then you start figuring out the logistics of everything. Okay, so if we have X amount of characters, do we have enough animators? Can we hire enough animators? Like, all these things come into play. Like, okay, we're based in Finland, so we have a limited pool of resources, like in terms of certain senior skills. Like, that comes into play, that actually sort of limits us maybe in a good way, like what we can do. And so all these things you have to figure out. That takes a long time. So even when we announced the game in 2013, it's like we knew that it's going to be a time travel story. We knew who the lead character was, but not a lot else. Like, yeah, we're going to have live action in it and you should be able to impact it. But it's not like you know that immediately how it is. So you spend a lot of time working out these things. And at the end, I think most people would be scared to know how games come together at the very end. It's scary. All these years of work, and at months before the game's about to ship, everything clicks into place. Like, oh, thank God we made the right choice there. But along the way, there's been a lot of trial and error, and we definitely spent a lot of time. So to give a short answer, I should say about 4 years. So Quantum Break will be available on April 5th for Xbox One and Windows 10 as well.
Do you like memes?
Memes?
Yeah.
I'll take care of this.
Yes, the funny
Fight my way
ones.
through.
Do you have any
I'll
favorites?
get the car and I'll bring it around.
Nothing like really I can remember. Well, depends. Like the definition of the meme is kind of
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
that's. But I'm a big football fan. Is it football here, not soccer? I think it's.
it's soccer.
Oh no. There was this funny image going around where it has like the control. It shows different soccer players' controllers, what they would look like.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I will.
Thanks. That's okay. Please buy 5 copies at least. Thank you. I'm not kidding. That was very, very funny because it showed the controller of Cristiano Ronaldo, and all the buttons on the controller were like I think R1, which is like the dribbling button.
Yeah.
And then the Arjen Robben, who plays for Bayern Munich, his controller had the X button, which is the pass button removed. I don't know if that counts as a meme.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah,
I
you got
thought
it.
that was really
Great.
funny. And the Messi's controller was not a regular controller; it was like 6 PlayStation controllers combined. Like that's. Like if you're into
That's a
soccer,
meme.
video football, soccer video games, that was very funny to me. I think Quantum Break is quite ripe in some ways for some good memes.
Hey, really? Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. People need to be able. You need to have a sense of humor about these things, and if people can like take the piss on you, that's okay. Like,
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Quantum Break's a good meme.
You need to need to be able to have fun with it, right? So,
Thanks for making a great game.
thank you. Thanks very much. Thank you for great questions.
Different parking lots, and you had to pick this. All right, where's your car, Will?
I could see an echo of the past. Will, arriving at the university.
I hope to God I'm not too late.
That's. I'm seeing the past. Oh, shit!
Something clicked. I could reach out and stop time in a focused area.
You don't know what you're doing!
Will. Fuck. They're coming from the left. I gotta get back to them.
I got a vision!
I swear to God, if you heard him!
I'm reloading! Revive!
I need to get to Will. He's in trouble.
Joyce.
Where is he? Where's my brother?
They're taking him to the library. You might still be able to catch them.
Why are you helping me? You're with them.
It's more complicated than... Look, I don't know if you can make it, but you should hurry.
That's the first time you saw Beth Wilder.
Yeah, but definitely not the first time she saw me.
Will. Will! No time to lose. I gotta get to Will. Fuck! Shit. Oh, shit. Raggy!
Get it for the...
No.
Where are the underground parking? Are you sure it's true?
Friendly under fire!
What the fuck is going on in there?
You asked for it.
Move in! Go! This guy.
Fast. Gotta get to the library. That's where they're taking you. Gotta keep moving, Jack. What?
You still had no idea that Wilder was helping you?
She wasn't the only one.
Lights are out across the whole damn campus. Somebody cut the power. This was supposed to be a quiet operation. We got what we... It's...
Yeah, I will. Okay, gotta get to the library.
Why are you taking me here?
It's a library. I need to return some fucking books. HQ, we've got William Joyce in the library. Waiting orders. Over?
Will, they took him to the library. I gotta find a way in. I gotta get to him fast. There's gotta be another way in. Where did that come from? Looks like I'm not the only one with a grudge. Come on, I don't have time for this. Gotta slow that thing down somehow. Nailed it.
This is Airlift Prime. We've got the Time Machine Core in transit.
Hey! Hands where I can see!
What the hell is going on around here?